Hey there, YouTubers. It's Luis here. Happy Friday. Been a busy week for us. I'm tired. I hope everybody's doing well. But I wanted to answer some of you guys' questions in regards to what's the issue with the Heavy that we acquired. It is a basket case. Let me just put it that way. So a little background to what happened here. I bought the truck sight unseen, which I've done in the past. I've yet, until now, ever been screwed on a truck. I asked the right questions, I asked for documentation, so on and so forth. But this time I royally got shafted in this deal. And it's a lesson learned. From here on out, anything I buy, I'm just gonna fly out to see it. I would have rather had been out $500 than probably going to be in the six figures by the time I'm done with this thing. So, but it's a lesson learned. So I was let down by the seller, who, I don't know if he purposely misrepresented it or he didn't know any better. I'm kind of thinking he knew what was going on. And I was also let down by the leasing company that I've been using for years on all my trucks. So that'll be in another video, but these leasing companies, they make you pay for a site inspection, which I paid for, and the truck was never inspected by them. So, but that's another video. I'll get into that later. But anyways, so this truck wasn't listed anywhere, it wasn't on Marketplace or anything. It was actually the leasing company that put me onto it. I think they held the note. I'm not 100% sure what was going on there, but I got in touch with the seller and I asked the seller all the questions you need to ask when you're buying a truck, no matter big, small, light duty, medium, heavy, all the questions that you need to ask, engine wise, yada yada yada. But one of the things that I don't like dealing with is rust. I'm from the north, and rust is something that's just, it's a never-ending battle. You're constantly going to be chasing it. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of maintenance on rusty trucks. So I had bought the truck from Missouri, and I specifically asked him, was the truck originally from Michigan? Oh, I don't know. I bought the truck from Purpose Wreckers 5 years ago. I did see the video of it when he purchased it from Purpose Wreckers. The thing was cream puff, was clean. Lo and behold, I get the truck here, and you can see they never really buffed out the outline of the former company's name and stuff like that. So you can kind of see three different companies in the mix there. They just literally slapped the decal over it. But in the shadowing, the outline of the old stickers, you could actually see that the truck did come from Michigan. It actually came from Ann Arbor. It's so I was upset to see that. But anyway, so I asked him, how's the rust? He said, oh, the boxes need work. Not a big deal. As you can see, I just completed this box here. I've done boxes before, I can live with that. But then my biggest question was, how's the frame? And with these trucks, these older trucks, a lot of them are double framed. Your dump trucks, a lot of your tow trucks, logging trucks, anything that's hauling heavy, they double frame them. So what that means is they take two C channels and they put one inside the other and they bolt them together. Sometimes they'll run a double frame from the front of the truck all the way to the back. Or in my case, they'll run it from right behind the cab to the back. And one of the biggest flaws with these double frames is you get dirt and water get trapped in between them, and they'll start to separate, and you'll get frame separation. So he told me that the frame was fine, and then I asked him straight up, do you think, will that truck pass a DOT inspection? Oh, we've never had an issue, yada yada yada. So lo and behold, I get the truck here, and I drove it over the evening, so I really didn't get a good look at it. But the next day, when it was sunny out, I started to see the major issues with this truck. So like I said, I knew about the boxes and stuff, not a big deal, but just by walking past because this has got a tag axle, walking past the tag axle, the bracket that the airbag sits on, you can see it is bowled, heavily bowled, like it's almost completely at a 90. So I get under there and I start seeing some major frame separation. And I can deal with 7/16 separation, but anything more than that is substantial. So I start picking away and looking, and sure enough, this truck has, in certain spots, about 2.5, 3 inches worth of frame separation. And it gets worse. If you actually go towards the back of the truck, at the rearmost axle, the whole outer frame is completely missing. So upon seeing that, I'm heated. I am pissed, because I run a tight ship here. I'm very goal oriented. I plan everything. So my plan was to get this heavy here within a month, get it out into service. Upon seeing that, I'm like, wow, this is going to be months and months of work. It's just me here by myself. I mean, this box here took me about a week to do. And it's, I got to be honest with you, I got sick to my stomach. So bank wouldn't help me, even though a big part of it was their error. They charged me for a site inspection that was never done, but I'll talk about that in another video. So they didn't really give me any options. So I'm stuck with the truck. I got to fix it. It's very labor intensive. Right now, I am speculating that it's probably going to cost me around $25,000 to $30,000 to get this truck out on the road. And that's not even, and other things might pop up once I fix the frame issues. I mean, she ran great the 2.5 hours I drove it, but I'm looking at about 25 to 30 grand just to fix the frame issues, fix the toolboxes and stuff like that. So it's going to be an interesting process, and I've actually been documenting. Like I said, I've started with the boxes already, and you guys are kind of going to see like a restoration of a tow truck. So I've got a lot of footage already, and in those videos I'm also going to be doing, especially once I pull the boom off and the wheel lift, and we can get a view of everything that's underneath the wrecker body. I want to do a video on what to look for when you're buying these trucks, because I don't want you guys to fall into, make a mistake like I did there, even if it wasn't my fault, but I don't want to see you guys make that mistake, especially if you're a new business. To buy a truck and to have to dump that kind of money, you'll be out of business before you know it. And luckily I have the money to fix it. It's granted, even though I moved down here 8 months, 9 months ago, things have been going really well. I do have the money to fix it. But for somebody who's just getting into the business and they're on a limited budget, it can be detrimental. So use these videos for learning experiences. Everything that I tell you, just follow through, just listen to what I say, because let me make the mistakes. It's if you can avoid making mistakes, by all means, take advantage of it. So you guys are going to see a rebuild of this truck. My goal right now is to, and like I said, it's just me, I'm doing the driving, I'm doing the fixing and everything, is I'd like to have this truck out on the road by October. I'm going to push for September. Like I said, it's just me, and this is all big stuff. This is not easy stuff to do. But I'm also going to include the pictures of the frame separation so you guys can get a better image to see what I'm up against. But, moral of the story is, if you're buying a piece of equipment, spend a few $100 to fly out and see it, put eyes on it. Don't rely on anybody else to inspect it. And brush up on, one thing is, I see a lot of these guys, they get into the towing business and they don't know anything about these trucks. They just jump in them and go. Take an automotive course at a vocational school or something. just to get a basic understanding of how things work and what to look for, because it'll save you a lot of money in the long run. Now, the money I'm putting into this, man, I could have gotten into something nice. You know, it's hit the road running. So I'm a little upset about that, but like I say, we live, we learn, we move forward, and we just don't do it again. So I'm gonna put some pictures at the end of this video, that way you guys can actually see the extent of what I'm up against.